The body and the use of it is what makes a character successful or not, especially for movies in the action genre. In this video essay, we'll be talking about how the action hero uses the body to interact with his surroundings and how it can be successful or otherwise. As humans, we are attracted by personas and seeing our likeness reflected onto others. The action body is an intriguing one because it reflects what one might fantasize instead of relating to. As a character study, I'll be using John Rambo from Rambo First Blood 2.
You're the chosen one, huh?
And Ellen Ripley from Aliens.
Then you don't need me. I'm not a soldier.
Both are sequels, thus giving us already established characters, and two different genders, giving us room to explore two different perspectives and possible reinforced ideologies. It is important to explore how these characters are introduced, what our first impressions are, and how they affect us emotionally. Rambo is introduced as a working manly man. He keeps a very stern and composed self, showing little to no emotion. After being confronted with the opportunity to regain his freedom, he weighs the odds in silence. Visually, we see a trapped body, and the slow acceptance that there is no other way.
You interested? Yeah.
Ripley is introduced to us in a chamber, locked away for many years. She is now given a rebirth. From the start, she's sympathetic. Giving her the cat and allowing her to interact with it shows her gentle side and foreshadows her maternal instincts. We can also see her character's complexity. Her body is holding many monsters within, metaphorically and physically. This gives us hints of the trauma left behind and exploring deeper feelings of humanity, which Rambo sometimes lacks in the first act. Both characters are in similar situations, having higher powers turn their back on them, and now imprisoned. Both seeking some kind of freedom. Rambo seeks a literal freedom, whereas Ripley seeks freedom from her trauma. His acceptance falls on desperation. Her acceptance falls upon guilt. But if they have something in common, is that they both seek closure. A big way characters get to show who they are is through other characters. Bonding is a big revelation of the self. In this case, both characters come in contact with characters they form close connections with. Rambo with Co, and Ripley with Newt. Rambo sticks to the cliche of quick love, in order for him to have a reason to stay on the call of action. Newt and Ripley form a familiar bond, and it makes sense. Ripley has just found out her daughter is dead, and she sees a chance of bringing her back with Newt. These bonds are important for us to see through these characters, and to add relatability. Now, the way these characters have approached all aspects of their journey affects how their overall evolution will come to its fruition. Throughout the film, Rambo is shown to be stealthy and deadly, showing weakness only minimally, and even then, prevailing against the enemy using his raw strength and power. His hero's journey is successful. He frees the POWs, exposes the corrupt, and gets his revenge. All the while maintaining a macho persona, his body constantly on show, making him more of a spectacle than a real human being. This might be a tactic to make our protagonist a blank canvas, giving the audience an opportunity to project their own fantasies and aspirations onto him, and in the end, unconsciously making him a patriotic vessel that goes with conservative values. Throughout Aliens, we see Ripley struggle to overcome and face her trauma. All the while, she stands up for herself. She transforms as the action hero and literally gets to face her trauma in form of the aliens.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Overall, this is about making a successful action hero. The body is the way these characters involve themselves in these roles. One isn't better than the other because of gender. One is better than the other because one succumbs to stereotypical gender roles and fulfills an expected role, while the other defies them.
I don't like that feeling you get after you've shot off a few rounds of, I'm immortal, you know, it's just, garbage.